Welcome to another Latch Creations video, a thread and crafts episode. So I've had this latch hook project with me for a while. I actually got this kit when I was 8 years old and just recently finished it now 20 years later. But I didn't know what to do with it, so I went on YouTube and searched for some latch hook finishings or projects, what I can do with a finished project. And I happened to come across this YouTube video. I'll put the link in the description box of this video directly, and they're just showing how to make a pillowcase with a latch hook project. So I thought that was pretty cool. But as I was watching the tutorial, there was a lot of measuring and place them down because you're going to make a pillowcase from scratch. So there was a bit of work involved, it looked like. I mean, you have to stitch hems as well and do all that, and I didn't really want to go through all that process, so I just thought a while of what I can do instead. Anyway, I'll show you this part of the video because it is important. She did show that you need to tuck the wool underneath so that it doesn't get caught in your stitches. And she's using a zigzag stitch here just to keep everything in place. And I had a solution for that as well. So now this is her showing of her finished product, which looks pretty good. But now it's time to do it my way. So I already had this pillowcase, which was the color I wanted, and it's something that's already been created and made, and it already has all the hemming and stitches all done to keep it all together. So I decided I'll just use this instead of just plain fabric. But then there was the issue of how would I attach this project onto the pillowcase without covering the latch hook project. So I did sit down and thought about it for a while, and this is what I came up with. So the first step is to turn the pillowcase inside out so that we're working with the wrong side of the pillowcase. And just to make sure I've got the correct side, you can see all the stitches of the hems. So next step, I had to prepare the latch hook design. So in the tutorial video that I saw, while she was stitching, she was making sure that all of these frilly bits were tucked in so that it wouldn't be caught in the stitch. So she would stitch along there, but not on top of the frilly bit itself. So I wouldn't be able to do that with the way I'm doing this project. So I decided to grab another piece of fabric and tuck everything in underneath it and just pin that fabric on top, and that way all of the frilly bits will be constantly tucked in and I wouldn't have to worry about that. I did leave about a centimetre gap because you don't want to get that extra piece of fabric caught in your stitches either, so just be mindful of that. Next, you'll want to cut around the latch hook design so that you don't have so much excess getting in the way when you're making the pillow. So I'm just cutting around, leaving about 3 centimeters for the edge. Once that's prepared, just grab your latch hook design and tuck it into the pillowcase. So the design itself is facing upwards towards the opening of the pillowcase. The pillowcase is still the wrong way around, so just make sure you get all the sides facing the correct way. And just gently tuck it all in. Obviously, being mindful that you do have a pinned fabric on top, so don't poke yourself in the process. Now I'm just making sure that everything is nice and straight onto the latch hook design, and I've got the opening exactly where I want it to be, so I can feel the latch hook design underneath. So it is quite thick, so you can feel it quite well. And once I have it all in the right spot, I'll just pin it in place so that it doesn't shift and move, because this is a bigger pillowcase than the latch hook design itself, so I don't want all that fabric to shift and move while I'm stitching it. So as I'm doing this, I'm actually pinning the pillowcase fabric onto that fabric that I attached to the latch hook design, so that black and white checkered fabric, and I find that this actually makes it easier to pin this all in place as well if I have that fabric on top of the latch hook design, so it is multi-purpose. So now that that side is all pinned, I will turn this around and I'll do exactly the same thing on this side. So I'm just going to make sure that the pillowcase is in the position that I want. So this is where the latch hook design will be stitched on, and I'll just smooth it all out and pin it in place. Everything is pinned, it's just going to the sewing machine. I set it up for a zigzag stitch. So as you can see, I'm working kind of blind, but because the latch hook design is beveled up, you can feel exactly where it is. So just feel where the edge is, and that way you can place your needle to the center of that, and then just zigzag stitch all the way around. Now I am making sure that the fabric is nice and straight as well, because I don't want anything crimping up, and I'm going slowly so that I can make sure that I am stitching where I want it to stitch. So I'm always feeling with my hand, make sure I'm at the edge. Now that it has been stitched all the way around, this is what it looks like. My stitches are not straight at all because I'm not really good at stitching straight, but you can see with the black line that it is a zigzag stitch all the way around. And the next step is now just flipping it all to the correct side, inside out or outside in. Oh no, it's definitely inside out. Yeah. Anyway, I prefer to take out the pins that were on top of the latch hook design with that checkered fabric, just so that I don't hurt myself, and that way I can slide it right off, and it'll just make it easier to flip this the right way around. So it's good to be, I guess, a little bit gentle with it. You might have a few pins still in there, so just be aware so you don't prick yourself, and make sure all the corners are popped out. And that's pretty much it. Just recycled a pillowcase and added a latch hook design on top, and just making sure everything is looking okay. Make sure those frilly bits haven't been caught in stitch at all, and that actually looks like it worked pretty well. And this is the final result. I'm actually pretty happy with this, that it actually worked. And now if I flip it around, you can see there's always threads everywhere, that you can just slide in I guess a square pillow in there, and yeah, you just have a pretty cool fluffy pillowcase or pillow. And this is the complete final result with a pillow stuffed in it. I actually created my own pillow to stuff in there because I didn't have one of that size. And that's the back, and I hope you enjoyed this video and learnt something, and until next time, bye!